Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence. No one is free who has not obtained the empire of himself. No man is free who cannot command himself. Educate the children, and it won't be necessary to punish the men. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in a few. Rest satisfied with doing well, and leave others to talk of you as they please. In anger, we should refrain both from speech and action. Don't judge your greatness by your shadow at sunset. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. A man is never as big as when he is on his knees to help a child. Let no one persuade you by word or deed to do or say whatever is not best for you. Silence is better than unmeaning words. Do not chase after happiness. It is always in you. Whatever they think of you, do what you think is fair. Be equally indifferent to blame and praise. Do not look back when leaving. Choose rather to be strong of soul than strong of body. Above all things, respect yourself. Reason is immortal, all else mortal. Salt is born of the purest parents, the sun and the sea. Number rules the universe. Declining from the public ways, walking in unfrequented paths. Friends share all things. As soon as laws are necessary for men, they are no longer fit for freedom. Choose always the way that seems the best, however rough it may be. Custom will soon render it easy and agreeable. Anger begins in folly and ends in repentance. A blow from your friend is better than a kiss from your enemy. Practice justice in word and deed, and do not get in the habit of acting thoughtlessly about anything. Never trust a friend who speaks bad of his comrades. You should make great things, not promising great things. It is difficult to walk at one and the same time many paths of life. Power is the near neighbor of necessity. As soon as you awake, in order lay the actions to be done the coming day. Ability and necessity dwell near each other. Time is the soul of the world. Be a good son, just brother, spouse tender, and good father. Even as truth, does error have its lovers? Above the cloud with its shadow is the star with its light. Above all things, reverence themselves. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. Wisdom thoroughly learned will never be forgotten. Don't try to cover your mistakes with false words. Rather, correct your mistakes with examination. Sobriety is the strength of the soul, for it preserves its reason unclouded by passion. Concern should drive us into action and not into depression. Friends are the companions on a journey who ought to aid each other to persevere on the road to a happier life. Most men and women, by birth or nature, lack the means to advance in wealth and power, but all have the ability to advance in knowledge. Learn silence with the quiet serenity of a meditative mind. Listen, absorb, transcribe, and transform. The great science of living happily is to live only in the present. If you can become an eagle, do not strive to become the first among the jackdaws. A person who is captured by his passions cannot be free. If you cannot have a faithful friend, be your own friend. Drunkenness is an exercise in madness. He who sows the seeds of murder and pain will not reap joy and love. Legislation should be the voice of reason, and the judge should be the voice of the law. We hope for your support in the form of likes and comments. Thank you for watching.
Greetings, Mr. Talcott, Satanic Warrior Benton. Wow, this is a heavy panel here today.
Greetings, brother. Greetings.
Honor, gentlemen.
Well, before we get started, I want to make the first comment here, that second to last one.
Can I just say first, I feel like an energy today, like off the rails. Like the insanity is through the roof. The sun is out. It's a hot one, as I named it. I did the most ghetto setup with this AC. You'd have to see it. They'd make fun of me forever. I'm not showing it. But yeah, I can feel it in the air. It's the hormones are up. The testosterone's up. The chimpanzees are.
And you've got the blasphemous one in the perfect spot, surrounded by the others. So welcome, Jack.
Hey, Jack. How are you?
Oh, no.
Good to see you, Paul.
How are you, Mr. Benton, fellow? The Satanic Warriors here in his usual fashion, up close and personal.
How's it going, everybody? Everybody jumping on Jack right off the get.
Well, you leave Jack alone. Right? All right.
I'm excited for this, and that's why. Let me just be quiet. Z, good to see you, brother. Excellent.
Much love, Jack. I heard Jack was I heard he was he needed a producer. He ended up with Moose. I don't know what the fuck that's all about, but I don't know, maybe we can talk about that shit. What's going on with that, Jack?
Run Around Moose, right? Like that song Run Around Sue, you know? He's always running around town. And next thing you know, he's hopping in bed with somebody else. So
right.
Soon he'll be producing for Benton over there when Jack doesn't want him anymore. Just let him go around the horn, right? See if he fits anywhere.
Oh,
right. How's that working out for you, Jack? I saw your fucking subscriber count tripled overnight. That must be something.
Well, he bought those subscribers. He's not going to say anything. But Moose went and advertised and bought those subscribers. There's been no live count change.
Right.
Views are going down.
Right.
Yeah, views are going down, actually.
It's growing. It's been interesting, and I don't know where it's going to go.
I'm the main event, Jack. This is what you all don't get. I didn't want to have to say the uncomfortable part out loud. But so everyone's going to go be a broadcaster now. 'Tis the season for broadcasting, I see.
You're
that's
leading
fine.
the way.
That's fine. I like to see all of my children under God following their daddy, their broadcast daddy. What is that, sir? Am I breaking up on my end?
No, not to me. It was just
The
in
life of the
connection.
Taggart.
Yeah, the way you started the stream. Friggin' wisdom, man. That's where it's at. So yeah, I'm following your lead. Trying to start engaging with others and sharing some more wisdom. Paul is the uncomfortable part.
So, by the way, Paul, you talk about the energy today.
Oh yeah, he's insane. He's
off the charts today. He's completely
he's
fucking
bouncing
insane.
off the walls. 15 comments already down there, and he just can't. He just every day my name. How long are we going to do this, folks? How long? Because it's great for me, right? You're like my constant promotion. Everywhere I go, you keep my name in your mouth, constantly cycling what we've done months ago. I don't even have to do anything now. This is great. Yeah. I go all winter, I trigger everyone, and then summertime I can get back to my life, come on a couple hours, and you guys promote me the rest of the day, screaming on the metaverse. So that's good stuff.
And that reminds me, I need to go private my broadcast because of Tommy. So that one will not be available for replay, unfortunately.
Right, because he acted up. He did something, didn't he?
He
did. I already know what he did. Because you just said you had to go make it private, so I know what he did already. Because he does the same thing he always does. He brings his guns out, most likely, if I had to guess. Right. Yes. Because that's all he like. That's it. You know, look at me. I'm Tommy. I have guns. I'm Mr. Anarchy. We got it. It doesn't help for everyone's broadcast, though. So if you could not do that, no, Tom, I see you back there. I'm not bringing you up because you're not going to ruin this broadcast. No, you're not. No, you're not. So here, hold on. You know what? I'm going to bring you up to throw you out. So in order to do that, I need some imagery here.
Fucking love it.
This will work.
You know you'll come up.
Greetings, slave. Tom.
Oh, Tom. I got confused. I'm not a slave.
Yeah, you're the slave.
Okay, great stuff. Great stuff, Paul.
Tom, what do you want? Why you ruin everybody's broadcasts every day? Why you following everybody around? Don't you get out in the light? You have pale, scaly skin.
Yeah, you're still on that game months later. I get it. Oh, did you think you were going to bring me up here and get something that Benton got? Is that what you were thinking? Do you think you're broadcasting? Simple question, Paul.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything you said because I had to alter my settings there. Could you
got to
say that again?
Your laptop and you didn't hear anything I said.
Yeah, no, I had to plug in. I can hear you now.
Good stuff.
So you're just like, so you guys just do everything
about me just
talk how I talk, use all my lingo, try to steal my character presentment. What else?
Well, I do rip off your lingo
from me, use from me.
It is an affront on you.
Remix off me, suck off me. Constantly talking
same old. I get it, Paul. Everyone's on your dick. Everyone sucks.
Pretty much, man. I never thought it would be like this.
Except girls.
Yeah, that's not true either.
I know. After they hit 50, they're all yours.
Yeah, I know you keep insulting Jennifer, but Jennifer's.
I know you keep insulting me, but.
Yeah, but you're worthy of insulting.
Yeah, you're talking when I'm talking, sir. Yeah, you're talking about me playing with guns. You're talking about me telling people to kill them.
So yeah, like you don't get it. I'm not a monogamous slave like you and everyone else. I'm not forced to pick one woman and obsess over them. I have multiple connections with different women, and I focus most of my time and energy on myself and what I do. So, like, women are an afterthought, and it needs to be that way, because if not, I'll be chasing pussy all day, every day, and I'll never get anything done. So, I focus most of my time and energy being on the land, doing what I do here, being with myself in peace and empowerment and inspiration, going around about being in the light, and you know, just being with myself. That's what matters. Because I put a little too much energy, time, and attention on women, and you know how that ends. right? Paulie forgets who he is, what the fuck he's doing here. He's lover boy central. And then it's, oops, I did it again, like Brittany, right? You see me coming out of a bathroom with a shaved head, bare feet, maybe presumably on substance again. Sure, I'm throwing you out, okay? I don't need you here. You're a horrible person all around. Goodbye. Goodbye. I don't need you. If you start typing like you always do down there, I'm going to throw you the fuck out of there. You're a sick person, sick people, right? I know why you flocked to me, because I was very sick for a very long time. We're beyond that now. We're not going back. And I don't need you here to try to drag us back there. You don't want to change and move on and evolve in your life. You could stay where you're at and where you've always been at. Enjoy that. And anybody else who wants to go with you. Your thoughts, expert panel. We're just going to move right along. Just let that.
Anyone that wants to go with him, Jack.
You leave Jack's house.
Wizard.
You thought I was hard on you before, motherfucker?
So what happened, Wizard? I thought you and Talcott came to an understanding, Wizard.
Fuck you and fuck you.
Wow. Wizard, I thought you and Talcott came to an understanding. You were getting beyond your anger, etc., etc. What did I miss? Jack, what the fuck's going on?
Tell him, Jack.
You're muted, Jack.
Tell him, Jack. Brothers and sisters, tempt yourselves and believe.
Well, the answer to your question is I allowed Wizard more opportunities to experience me, and
you plagiarized what something Paul said.
How did you experience him in a deeper way? What is he? What did you guys do? You know, I left for like 3/4 of a day, and now you've experienced him in a new way.
I know.
And you plagiarized him. Well, and you plagiarized him by saying Paul even says, and then ended it with, "Come on, brothers and sisters, tempt yourselves and believe."
Okay.
Well, you know, Wizard, they're all constantly just sitting around me, soaking up the good shit, then remixing it and vulgating it back out in inappropriate ways and presentments. You know, it's just constant here. So don't be mad. I got over that months ago.
Yeah, and then when he come up on panel last night, he says, "No, I never said that," and I quoted it in the details. And I'll be damned if I didn't find that clip, went back and listened to it 5 fucking times, and I did quote it exactly, word for fucking word.
I believe you.
Yes, and I posted the clip, 1 minute and 38 seconds.
How about this? I'm sorry I doubted your accuracy and your memory last night.
No, not good enough.
Fair enough.
You fucking lied.
Doesn't work like that, dummy.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, dummy.
That's right. It don't work that way.
Right. You're not.
You either admit to what you did and leave me the fuck out of it.
Hey, I'll admit to what I did. I mean, Paul, you asked what happened, and as I remember, I think I kicked Wizard off my panel, and then I went onto his panel by his invitation and didn't maintain my respect. So I left, and he's still bitter. I did email, even in violation of his orders.
And that's why I'm fucking
You better tell him this is how that cancer came the first time. All this anger. Remember how nice and kind he was right during and after the cancer?
Yeah,
when he heard that shit. Now he's yelling, screaming again, calling people dumbass. I knew it would happen. I knew it, Jack. He's taking your love for granted again.
And I didn't intend to provoke. I was reached out. My email was an effort to apologize and to recognize that
I don't accept any apologies anymore from you, bitch.
I know you don't accept it.
You already had the known instruction on this public platform. You're not to contact me in private. You're not privy to that, bitch.
Yeah, I'll accept the consequences.
I think you're right on the money, though, with this anger and the cancer. I think there may be something to that. I myself, I don't want to get into the weeds, but I'm also experiencing some health issues. And now that I look back on my past, I think that was, while maybe not the major cause, it was certainly a factor. So I'm not going to ever give Wizard advice, but I'm a little concerned, brother, based on
9.0 on the pH. 9.0 on the
rage
pH.
I'm seeing.
Cancer is scientifically known. It cannot survive in alkaline environment.
Well, rage on,
Period.
then. Rage on, brother.
Wow.
Jack,
Did God have cancer? Did God have cancer? Okay. Did God get angry?
I don't
Jack,
assume
have you
to
checked
know.
your
He
vaginal
struck
pH?
down many cities by fire because of his anger. I was doing that when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So,
And
Jack, I wanted to ask you,
then-
between your relationship with Moose, who's playing who? Are you playing him or is he playing you?
Oh, they're both using each other. See, that's
Got
the
it.
beauty of it. That's the beauty
Got
of
it.
Hold
of
on.
a user relationship. Everyone uses everyone.
There's some truth to this. I'm feeling used, to be honest. I've been trying to get a hold of him, trying to
Hard
get.
hat. Good to see you, brother.
Oh, amen. Look at him out in
All right, bro,
enjoyment.
we get it.
Yeah.
You're in better shape than me and most people here, and you're going to keep like putting yourself in positions like Juliana Bastone to just be, you know, without clothes on camera, okay?
Right.
So back off, guy. I already see the way the other female chimpanzees look at you, and it's going to be a problem with us on the land, okay?
That's all right.
Unless there's enough of them, right? 5 each, and they can switch out.
What? Once they see his grape-sized nuts, they'll back off.
Yeah.
No offense, hard hat. Much love.
I'm a fucking pig right now. I got probably a good 30 pounds to lose to be kind of in fucking proper shape, back down to about 220. So yeah, don't worry. I'm kind of just like you, but I don't know, man. It's all good. I'm fucking, summer comes, I work harder, I lose weight. It's just simple. You move more, you'll fucking lose it. But and then the harder the job, whatever. Yeah, I'm just fucking tanning here. That's a beautiful day, and I got a barbecue to go to in about 2 hours here. So I'm just gonna pop on and fucking listen to the good words.
Right. So yeah, we need to, like, you know, because it's gonna be a bridge broadcast today. I guess I could choose to just, you know, pivot, and we could just talk, use a good part of this since the Warrior's here, and you know, we can update everyone that Ian's been fasting and taking minerals and diatomaceous earth, and he's not broadcasting anymore. So he's detoxing the spirit of his mama out of him, and that's good to see. So when he gets back, because Jack, can I segue real quick, and then we can come back to the nonsense, and maybe Moose and others can come up here and speak for themselves. I mean, these are very bizarre people. These are grown men now. Let's remember, these are grown men, a lot of them in their 30s and 40s, women and children in their lives, supposed business owners. What's going on? What's going on with all the nonsense on the metaverse, just going nowhere, cycling and looping, calling yourself a producer and not being able to produce anything? It's embarrassing. And then the bit is, I'm a producer, non-producer, because I did that with him. I go, you're going to be a producer, but you never produce anything, so that's why it's funny. And then you all took it seriously. And again, I like to watch the game and see where it all goes, and I wish you luck. But let's get back to now and me, right? I know you like to get back to you. Let's get back to me, okay? Everyone can find a place here, and we can work together, and it can be fun and enjoyable and interesting and controversial and all the things, right? I don't think the Moose Talcott thing is working over there. I think it's more of a Talcottian endeavor, right? It's like what I picture is just Talcott comes up. It's Talcott all day, all the time, 24/7. We don't even have to get back to you because it never gets off of you. Okay, these people all around you, they're detracting from the good shit. Okay, so but here, I found out. Okay, Jack Talcott, I found out why Ian has been presenting the way that he has. Turns out there's gallons of stuff going around the country that they call coma in a bottle.
What?
Okay, yeah, they just intercepted gallons of this shit at the border. I don't know what it is. It's like some cross with fentanyl and something else we never heard of. Some new shit. So I'm starting to think they've been putting us in the water, and that's why Ian comes on half asleep, even though his channel name is We Are Awake TV. So let's hear this.
Actually spoke with Customs and Border Protection, and they told me the criminals who shipped it didn't even try to hide it. It literally came in a jug just like this, what you're seeing right here. And the address was to a home or an area in Tampa.
Addressed to Ian's house.
At first glance,
this is why he hasn't been on. He got charged with a coma in a bottle.
But the contents inside could be very harmful.
It's a felony.
The jugs, and the jugs proved positive for GBL.
Oh
and so
my
GBL
God.
is also a precursor drug for the GHB, which is known as the date rape drug.
6 gallons of GBL, otherwise known as liquid ecstasy or coma in a
Whoa,
bottle.
yeah,
was
that's what
shipped
he
from
was on. They were
France
all
and
on
supposed
that
to
that
go to
night
an
when they were
address in
seeing them
Hillsborough
preachers.
County,
These
but it
people are
got stopped in
disgusting.
Philadelphia.
If you need an expert, Paul, ask me.
Yeah, these people
A
are
highly
disgusting.
addictive depressant.
Look,
that can
highly
cause
addictive,
respiratory
depressant.
distress,
They were
coma,
depressed.
and even
Respiratory
death. The
distress.
chemical
They could
can
barely
be used
breathe.
as a disinfectant
Coma
to strip
in a
paint
bottle.
or rust.
Definitely.
It's even
Half
used by
asleep.
some bodybuilders as a growth hormone. And in other cases, it's a common date rape drug.
But it's also
That
dangerous.
explains how
Everything
Ian's been getting
that
pussy.
people
Hey,
I've
Paul,
been
can I
wondering.
use it
interject?
for
He's not only
funny
taking
drug,
that shit, he's using
a
it on
muscle
people.
enhancer. It's still dangerous solvent and could hurt you and potentially kill you.
Remember the
Louis
time he was
Delgado
out
is
the
a
window
certified
like this?
addiction
Yeah, he's on
professional. He says
GBO.
the
Look at him.
I-4 corridor is a hotbed for criminals wanting to take
Fucking
advantage
losing
of
it.
people.
A lot of youth, a lot of young people that like to go out and like to party.
Hey,
And
Paul.
so it just seems to be a
Hold on,
hotbed,
Mr. Hardhat.
for
Relax. You're
individuals
on
to try
that
to pick
GBO
up
too.
some of
That's
our
how you
young
got
people
raped at that
and-
gay
and-
club you were
and
accidentally at
abuse
that
them
one
however
time.
they wish.
While the substance can
Guys
be used in
fucking-
a
they shot you with
non-harmful
the
way,
GBO.
Delgado says when it's in the wrong hands,
Yeah.
the impact could be deadly.
Just like any other substance, the people that are actually selling it to you, people, if you're the one using it out there, you're not measuring it. Your drug dealer's not measuring it. They're not a scientist. They're not sitting there with their little kit and figuring out what is a safe way to get Louis high. No, that's not what he's trying to do.
Now, no one has been arrested yet, but authorities are now trying to see who shipped it in France and who was supposed to receive it here in Florida. Live in Studio B,
Yeah, I
Deborah
know who it was
Cho,
addressed
Fox
to.
35 News.
Okay. Just leave it at that. I know exactly where that was going. Your thoughts, expert panel?
Hey, Paul. I'm kind of an expert in this GHB shit, or I used to be from the old days. I'm sorry to say that this Fox News fucking is almost on point with it. My buddy used to make it, right? There's a special recipe, not many people can do it.
This. I don't want to get into all this. Yeah, I don't want to get into
No, Paul. But
no, I'd rather not.
I'm not. What I'm fucking saying is we used to joke that it's basically floor cleaner, because when he would clean up the kitchen after the cook, it was like fucking spick and span. And I was drinking so much of that shit that it was eating away like my throat. My voice changed for months. It was like, yeah, it's nasty stuff, right?
Yeah, it's all
so
bad.
I'm not
no
saying
one knows
it's
what any of this shit is. Okay, we don't know what cocaine is. We don't know we don't really know what any of this is. It's all the devil, one way or the other. When you get right down to it, you know, I was smoking some PCP, is what they called it at one point, and I didn't know what it was, and it smelled like starter fluid, and they used to put it on mint leaves and used to get it from the black people. Okay, we never knew what that was. I'll tell you this though: you look into PCP, and to actually make that, you need cyanide. It's one of the precursors. So anything you need cyanide for to make it, if you're going to smoke it, probably not the best idea to be involved with. But
apricot seeds have cyanide in them. 3 a day.
Right, but isn't there different kinds of that? Like there's like, and again, this is where it gets kooky, because there's like different kind of arsenic in different amounts. It does different things. There's some in the dirt, you need it. Too much, it kills you. So I don't think God created PCP on mint leaves that gets sold by the black people.
You want to do it, you do it naturally. So if you're mixing that stuff, you mix the natural elements. And a lot of them you don't have to mix. Like cocoa leaves down in South America, they don't mix it with nothing. They just take a leaf, stick it under their tongue, and they go hiking up in the high mountains.
Right. So this is how you get the wrong shit. Is this guy thinks PCP is embalming fluid. So he'll go break into a funeral home, get embalming fluid, and then put it on something and hand it to me. No, PCP is not embalming fluid. It's its own chemical. Phencyclidine, sir, synthesized by the government, oddly enough, for anesthesia purposes, and then discontinued because it did something to you, turned you into a white gorilla, and it wasn't good for them. So that's what happened to me. I smoked too much of that shit, turned me into a white gorilla, and now I can't go back, and they hate me.
Is that what it was? That's like your origin story. That's the Paul Enslaved origin story with synthetic PCP.
It's
what
like
happened to the good old
Spider-Man
days?
getting bitten by a spider. I got PCP from black people, and it gave me superpowers.
You know, what happened to the days where you could trust your drug dealer? You know, now it's all fucked up. Now it's all synthetic from China. What the hell's going on?
Isn't that what they used to make mescaline with? Wasn't it mescaline used made with PCP?
I don't know. I don't think so, man. I thought mescaline.
No, I think you just made that all
Peyote.
up. Mescaline is
I thought I heard it somewhere.
It's a peyote derivative.
That's why I don't listen to anyone. Like everywhere you go, they're like, "Hey, I got some PCP embalming fluid. I don't want none of that. Hey, I got some mescaline that I don't know where it came from. Yeah, I don't want any of that."
Jack should try it. Maybe it might get him off his ass and do something.
No.
Wizard's going at Jack today, man. Wizard wants a piece of Jack today.
He needs to relax, okay? You need to fucking relax.
No, he's alkaline. He's fine.
I called my father one time jogging from Bellport back to Patchogue, if you know where that is. I was jogging town to town, not something I typically did. But, you know, on that shit, you might convince yourself. I told him, I said, I'm going to be the next heavyweight boxer, right? You get a little bit, you get like Jack Talcott, where you start to get these grandiose visions of what you can accomplish. And then, you know, you come back down and go, wait a second, I'm 50 to 60 pounds overweight. I definitely don't have the endurance for this. I need some water, right? And then you realize maybe this isn't what I thought it was 45 minutes ago, right? But again, there's a fine line there, because if you really believe in yourself, right? If I kept that energy and say, I'm going to be the next heavyweight prize fighter, where does fantasy meet reality? If you put the work in, you show up every day with that energy and work out and get better and better, you could fucking do it. So there's an aspect of self that you reach where you really believe in yourself and you feel powerful. And then you come back down and you're like, how do we get there without that? Because that'd be great.
Right.
You know?
And it only comes from doing things, Jack.
Well, it's like the plans you make with your buddies when you're snorting coke all night. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning, and you guys are coming up with grandiose business ideas that somehow never come to fruition. Like, how do you take that energy and convert it to real life stuff? It's a good question.
You ever wonder why Kansas doesn't have a ski resort? It could really use one. It's flat land.
Even though it's warm all the time, it has zero fucking elevation whatsoever.
Right, and it's flat land. Yeah, that's not going to work. So it sounded good. Here we are. We have a pilot on Slavia Air.
Is that Horde?
Horde is high above the ground.
I knew it was Horde. I knew it was Horde without even knowing it.
These are the people who come here, all of you filth. Okay? This man is a regular contributor, supporter, donator. He's building things. He's flying around. You We Are Awake slaves and the rest of you Welsh slaves aren't doing this. Okay? None of you do this. Mark Passio's not flying around in a plane that he built. Your fucking audience is horrible. I have the best audience ever. Your audience, horrible, because you're horrible people. I'm a very eccentric and eclectic individual. That's why I attract so many eccentric and eclectic individuals like you see on panel here today.
Speaking of, there was a Jeffrey Phillips sighting today over on the Benton channel. Jeffrey showed up.
Bro, where's Annie been? Like, are we just all going to act like he didn't put Annie in a trunk and drive her off a bridge? Like, are you kidding me?
Either him or O'Shea. O'Shea might have fucking snapped out on the bitch and did something crazy.
But this is what I love, is everybody was sucking Annie's clitoris when she was here.
Nobody cares. Now no one gives a fuck. The shit disappeared, right?
Exactly. And now I'm left, like always, thinking about these people and going, you know, I had to shoot straight and call it out with what everyone couldn't see or refused to see or saw but wouldn't say. And now she's disappeared. This bozo's on camera every other day here and there, and she's not around. And I go, okay, either this is really good. She's like working on herself, like I figured would happen, and got away from the slave and is going to have a transcendent cocooning type experience and butterfly out. Or she went and got hooked on drugs and maybe harmed herself. Right. So now, like, I have to like worry about what he probably doesn't give a fuck, Jeffrey, and the rest of the folks who want to like play ego games and suck up and love bomb and or denigrate and control and dominate, right? It's always one swing or the other. It's never anything down the middle, true love, true care, true resonance with self, the one self idea. So, and then if you try to do that in front of all the chimpanzees, they say, Paulie's trying to get Annie for himself, right? That's what they always do. They get in their jealous hater mode because they don't understand how I could love everybody and be present for all beings and aware with all beings and care for all beings, but not be emotionally invested a few, if any, more than necessary for my own and everyone else's own good. Right. Razvan, how are you?
How are you, Paulie?
Fucking star. No, I can't even do a broadcast. I went and got 10, 15 things together and can't even fucking go to them or look at them because I got like a whole bunch of people who need mommies and daddies.
Well,
he's on to me now.
It's daddy daycare, summer camp.
He's decided to make
to
make Z his enemy today too.
Shut up,
Razvan, are you okay, Razvan?
I have to bring something to your attention.
Go ahead, sir, please.
You might have an infidel or two amongst you.
Right,
oh, there's always infidels amongst us.
They're cupcakes, Razvan.
And one of them.
Hey, you don't even know the infidels amongst you until it gets hot and you go to war. There's infidels all on this panel right now.
Listen,
I guarantee it.
Yeah, but you remember this one. You know the Schmiegel?
Yeah, there's a lot of those creatures running around too.
Drew asked him if child molesters deserve repentance. And
right.
Said,
I think everybody deserves repentance. No, or are we going to
do
the
interesting, Razvan? It's kind of like what I said to you, dude. You're stuck on it, dude.
Even pedophiles, Paul?
You're a loser,
you have a cool
Razvan.
You have a cool Romanian
line,
accent, dude. Just run with your Romanian accent, dude. You're looping on this insane topic.
No, I want to know where you stand, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, can you bring anything else to the table?
Can I just talk to the being and then I want to move forward out of this?
How easy it is.
It's one vortex after the next. You folks need summer camp. Okay? So it's very simple. Spiritually, I understand we're going to go to the scripture and say that's the absolute word of God. And I understand that the ego is a motherfucker. So harming a child's one of the worst things that could be done. And there's a space in us where when we hear
condemn it.
Sir, are you going to let me talk or are you going to chirp over me?
Sorry, Paul.
Thank you. So I've declared my idea on this before. I'm not saying I'm absolutely correct. I'm not even saying it couldn't change 5 minutes from now. But if I walked around the corner and I saw somebody fucking a child, I'd probably put a physical stop to it. Right? I'd stop.
I would kill him as well.
Right. And then I would figure out how we would make the determination to stop it from continuing, whether that be courtroom processes or a community meeting of sorts. We will decide that. Again, there's very sick people out here. There's levels to the sickness. If you want to call it sin, as far as I understand it, all sin is sin. So we're supposed to hate the sin, not the sinner. And we're supposed to work with folks to repent and reform if they're redeemable. Now, there's a lot of ifs there. There's a lot of levels to that. There's a lot of conditions with that. Because, again, I have to get in the room with the being. I have to have a conversation with them. I have to see why they would do that. Did the same thing happen to them, which is why they think it's normal and appropriate? Do they have a space of an ability to reform themselves and be remedied? Or is this something that they're so far gone, they're going to continue to do it if they're ever let out again, right? Or allowed to roam free again. So I'm pretty sure that's why we have rehabilitation centers, because when folks are observed doing that behavior, it's reprehensible. They need to be separated from society and ascertain whether they can be redeemed and rehabilitated. If they can't be, then they found a new home at the expense of the taxpayer. So that's why they created this whole system. It probably would work effectively if we actually cared about truth and helping people and making things better and making it right instead of being right. Okay, because I get it. If it happened to my child, I don't have one. I can't talk about it and speak from experience, but I could imagine it would like really fuck me up in my ego and want me to like do vengeance and have hate. But I have to forgive for myself so that I don't ruin my inner space. And then I would have to talk to the being and say, why would you do this? Would you want this done to you or your child? And he might say, this was done to me my whole childhood. This is what's normal to me. And then I would say, well, you don't see a place in you where this is completely fucked up and sick and needs to stop and can't happen anymore. And anything other than yes is you got to go sit somewhere for a while, at least with yourself and figure this all out. Okay. So I don't cast judgment upon anybody. I'm not here to enact some kind of judgment or carry out a judgment. I'm here to facilitate rehabilitation if I'm able. Everything else will be pretty self-evident, right? For somebody who like looks like one of these demons who's unrepentant and just kind of loves to harm innocents and dominate the defenseless and is never going to stop, well, maybe you deal with them a different way. You put them on an island all with each other. Let them fuck each other to death. Let them kill each other. Let them destroy each other.
You know how they deal with them in Africa? It's called necklacing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Razvan,
I would do that to a pedophile.
So Razvan, you and probably everybody here, dude.
And
but here's the thing.
OTW.
Razvan,
let's imagine a space where we have this in us and we don't like this part about us, but it's who and what we are, and we wish it was different. If somebody could help us to change that, you would want that. So to presume that these beings like themselves in their life and wouldn't wish it that they would be anybody else, I think is foolish and selfish. A lot of these beings hate themselves. They hate their life. They wish they could have been different, but they've been twisted in some way.
Who cares that they hate?
Again, you don't care, and I care because I'm tasked to love my enemies.
Right.
Did you get when you were young?
Which is ironic. Hold on, Razvan, dude. So you're
why would
here's
I
the thing, dude.
Hold on. No, hold on.
Razvan, I'm not going to entertain this for too long. I gave you the whole
dude. He's been stuck on this for hours, dude. Razvan, I made a simple comment that nobody's. Fuck you, dude. I'm not going to sit here and let you talk fucking trash. Fuck you, dude.
Remove that fucking hat, pussy.
Fuck you, dude.
You fucking coward.
What's wrong with
you,
dude? What's wrong with you, dude?
You don't stand for anything, pussy.
Hey, Raz.
Oh, because I don't agree with you.
You make
I don't stand for anything. Which is funny. You proclaim a dogmatic Christian.
Pussy.
I say that nobody's beyond redemption.
Huh?
I say nobody's beyond redemption in Christianity.
You can't even say,
and you take a problem with it, dude.
You can't
That's
even
very
say
strange to me.
pedophiles deserve death. You're that coward.
You're stupid, man.
Because I won't say, well, maybe I don't believe anybody deserves a fucking
and I think
death
you are
sentence, dude. How's that, dude?
Cunt.
Maybe I don't think it's on me to kill somebody. How's that?
Man.
And I have the video.
You have no empathy.
Have you ever?
Fucking coward. You don't have any lines.
You're the fucking coward, man.
As if you think you know who we are, dude. You don't know who the fuck we are.
Could I just do this? Hey, thanks. So, Mr. Razvan, I know I'd love to hear from everybody and have a back and forth, but obviously it's never going to happen. Not this way with this person right now. So, Razvan, have you ever done harm to somebody actively, willfully, or are you just talking from being on a metaverse? No, you haven't. So why are you sitting there telling me about something you would do that you've never done that I've been involved in and would never want to be?
Say I would do it.
Hey. We need to
even condemn it, Paul.
Hey. We need to start speaking from firsthand experience. Tell me about what the fuck you know that you've experienced. Don't tell me about what you wouldn't do, because I'm really done with everybody and their bullshit ego. It's all bullshit. Right?
Okay,
just like Tommy's going to beat my ass at the corner or wherever, and then call the police on me. Just like Smith is going to shoot me, but then threaten to shoot himself. Right.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm done with what everyone wants, doesn't want, would do, wouldn't do, when their life speaks that they've not lived a full life, never been anywhere, done nothing, and really can't speak on much of anything other than how to be a pet fucking slave.
Yep. And I've said many times, I don't live my life on ifs. I don't depend on what might happen. I live my life on right now. Nothing else.
Razvan, of course you can talk, dude, but you're painting false narratives, dude. You're just doing it. You're making claims, dude. Look, you're virtue signaling.
You can't even say on the metaverse, man. That's why the world is fucked up.
Oh, so you want me to say that I should kill pedophiles, and because I won't say that
LGBT is exported all over the world.
Because I won't say that I should kill pedophiles. Right.
You're moral. Fuck a pedophile.
No, you're moral.
All right, I'll see you later. All right, you ain't killing nothing. You're a punk ass bitch. I'm not gonna listen. Now you're out. So everyone who comes from an ego space acting like I don't speak through it, I just start throwing you out.
Right.
Okay. So you've never killed nothing. You've never done nothing. You've never been in anybody's face talking that shit. When you get in someone's face, you get real polite and kind of nice, or you call a barrister.
Yes, I never killed
anyone. Let's cut it the fuck out, okay? So you ain't killing nobody.
No,
if you want it done, you're going to call somebody else to do it. They're not going to do it. They're going to take them and deal with them with a system. Okay.
No, I won't call anyone else to do it. But we can't
Right.
even
You folks won't
condemn.
even do nothing about your own rights and freedoms, yet you want
Paul,
to tell
we
me you're
can't
gonna murder
even
people.
condemn.
It's fucking laughable. You
We
don't
can't
have the
even
will.
condemn in
You
sin,
don't have the
Paul.
will. I know you don't.
We
So
don't
stop
have any
talking about it.
sins.
You and Snafu
Paul.
Snaps do little to nothing about your own rights and freedoms and
Paul,
the
look
future
at this
destiny of
truth
your own
community.
children.
Is a
What
joke.
makes you think that you're going to kill anybody
Paul,
other than
it's
to
a
kill
joke.
when you lose your mind?
Leviticus
We can't
24:17.
You won't
even
even do
agree.
that.
We can't
Leviticus
even agree on pedophilia,
24:17.
man.
Leviticus 24:17. And he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death.
So let me,
It
right.
doesn't give
give me
any reasons or anything. It just says, and he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death. That's the only thing it says about killing a man in the Bible. No other thing except for raping a woman in the field where the sin is in her, but is no longer a sin. The sinner is put to death, and he surely shall be put to death, or better be put to death by a rock around his neck and dumped in the sea.
Yeah.
Right. Give me 10
you
seconds.
We can't even agree on that. We can't
You
even agree.
motherfuckers need to learn how to love before you tell me about who you're going to kill.
Well, that's the point. Hold on.
I didn't
You're
say I was
trying to
going
stop
to
buying
kill
it.
anyone, Paul.
Razvan,
Stop
hold on.
painting
You're
it
trying,
like that.
Razvan, you're trying to
I
say that the Christian.
said-
Hold on. You're telling me that the Christian thing to do is to kill the person. That's your point. That's what
No.
it seems like you're saying.
No.
Well, you said you're a Christian, right?
I said a child molester or pedophile deserved death. And if I remember properly, Paul, you accused OTW of that. Or am I mistaken? In the past when he was crazy.
Dude, what are you talking about, man?
Are you crazy?
Razvan, what's your whole fucking
I'm gonna let you go.
dude?
I'm
And
gonna let you go.
I have a clip of him. Drew exposed you.
Right, I
OTW.
don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this weak ass community of like 150 people watching, and you all now like think you're going to be overnight celebrities because you got interpersonal gossip about inter-community nonsense. Let's just move beyond it, right? This is my agenda. This is my broadcast. I'm sorry it has to be like that. I don't do that for the same reasons Jack does over there. I do that because if not, it becomes this, right? Doesn't have to be about me. I just can't do this. Because, like, you ask a question, you bring up an idea, I pretty much fucking nail it, top to bottom, what it is and what it needs to be for us to be functional in ourselves and not be an angry, hateful, vengeful, warlike culture, right? So I don't have to go full leftist, love is love. I don't have to go full fake-ass Republican where we bomb women and children in villages and talk about doing harm to pedophiles, okay? So you folks are hypocrites. You're full of shit. Snafu Snaps is still down there saying he's going to do this and do that. You ain't done it yet, so I don't believe you because you tell me all day, folks, just like your women don't believe you when they get around you. After a few years, they say, yeah, we heard this rap a bunch of times on the metaverse. He don't do shit. He don't do shit. They don't have no respect for you because you'll say you're going to kill people. And I'm telling you that I know people who know people, and I'm going to leave it at that. And they don't even do what they do without feeling a certain kind of way. And you ain't got it in you. I could tell by looking at you. You ain't got it in you. Okay. You were feeling some kind of way with that fat drunk girl on the corner of the street with O'Shea. You're going to tell me about putting a gun in somebody's face? It's laughable. Okay. You were shook with fat drunk girl on the corner with O'Shea. Stop it.
It's about resolution versus revolution. These people have an energy where they're not seeking resolution. They want a virtue signal. They want to keep revolving in their ignorance, which is fine if that's the level you're on. But just know where you are, Razvan. You obviously paint narratives and run with it. It's very strange. And like Paulie said, he nailed the answer to your question right off the fucking bat, and it should have been over. Once you heard what he said, you should have said, that's logical. Let's move on. But you can't do it. So what is your motive? What's your point? I question it. Okay.
These guys come online and they get right into this false self of what they think a man looks like from what they've seen and heard through various clippings with media and TV, and it's never who and what they are. Then they project it onto me. Oh, Paulie's doing that. No, I'm not, because I don't come on here and say I'm going to kill everybody, harm everybody, beat everybody up. I say I don't want nothing. I don't want no problems, but I ain't running from none either. That's clear. So, and again, I'll even go the whole way. If you bring a problem to me and I really don't want to deal with it, I might just run. I'd rather run and live to fight another day than to get caught up rolling around with a rabid slave who's got no purpose in life, right? I'm not purposeless and I got nothing to prove. So you want to call me a pussy and a bitch, just like I told people at jail. right? Because they saw people saying something and I just don't want to get caught up. I want to just do my time and leave. I go, yeah, whatever. Keep talking. Long as you're talking, you ain't doing nothing. And that's all we need to be worried about here, right? Is what everybody's going to do and not do. So just keep talking, because as long as you're talking, you ain't doing nothing. I ain't worried about that.
Good
right?
point.
Long as you don't put your hands on me and take nothing from me or body up against me, you fucking talk all day. It's meaningless to me. You're talking because you're scared. You're talking because you're intimidated by me. You're talking because you're confused by me, right? I'm used to that. So keep chattering, keep my name and dick in your mouth and just keep it moving, right? And 9 out of 10 times they don't want nothing because they don't get near me and they don't do nothing to me, right? As long as I stay my lane and my course in life, hold to who and what I am, be a loving and caring being, unwavering in truth, respect myself, 9 out of 10 times everybody stays the fuck away from me. Or we all have a great time, right? So I'm not interested in the Illumitomnis and the Razvans and all the rest who have nowhere to go and nowhere to be and will hang on here all day arguing about their pseudo-spiritual ideals that they got from a book, right? Don't know anything about themselves.
Not
Go
just
ahead.
that, he actually believes, he's so inept that he believes what you say literally and doesn't understand that sometimes you're actually making fun of someone or insulting them and not really thinking it, but just, going off on a rant and just fucking letting yourself go. And he's there taking it literally going, oh yeah, well, you said that about that person, so it must be true.
Look, OTW, it's a narrative. And what I find with some people is they fall into the trap of the false binary. So in these people's minds, if you don't condemn a child molester to death, you are then advocating for child molestation. They have this false binary concept. They can't see the gray that is this world, the reality of this world. It's the same trap. And what they tend to do is throughout their life, they pendulum swing from extreme to extreme. They'll go from being a zealot Christian to fucking being a devout atheist to back to being a fucking Christian or something else. It's a constant psychopathic pendulum swing.
You ain't doing it, Snafu Snaps. Why you talking about what you ain't doing and ain't gonna do? I'm being real. Easy for me to sit up here on a metaverse insulated and say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it not be real. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not making it my purpose in life to kill pedophiles, as you said. You're a fucking moron. You don't even, you won't even do nothing to people who are running your life, your masters. And you want to go find people who are sick and twisted that probably were raped and are now doing what was done to them. I'm not advocating for it. You go advocate for murder or you're advocating for pedophilia. Murder is probably just as bad, if not worse. I don't have a right to take anyone's bodily security, and I don't have a right to take anybody's life who's not threatening mine. So where do we go with this? We can't find a gray area of understanding here separate from emotions and ego bullshit, because you ain't going to do nothing. We know that.
Look, much love to you guys.
It's always the people who are least likely to do something trying to convince the folks who have done shit to do what they say they would do, right? While they won't do what was already done, showing they're a punk-ass coward. Like I'm supposed to believe these folks are going to put a gun in somebody's face and blow their brains out for some idea, when they won't even stand for rights and freedom and principles, which is the best idea here, right? So that just shows you're a hater. You won't do what's true and what's right for love, but you'll create an outgroup, hate, do vengeance, and claim that there's an equalization there. I don't see it.
At the same time, standing behind the Bible and your religion, saying that you're righteous and not seeing the complete and total hypocrisy behind it. Come on, guys. I know we're not going to speak any sense into you, but you got to come to some degree of rationality with this. Get over yourselves.
It's the same story with Illumitomni, where he's trying to, he's saying on Benton's stream that he's gonna murder me, because I fucking call him out for what he was, man. He's just a fucking loser, man. And he's saying that he's somebody because he has money. Oh yeah, wow, okay, bravo.
Hold on, let's get back to something important. Jack Talcott's here. How could we have ignored Jack for so long? I don't understand.
Right,
I didn't ignore him. I addressed him the first thing.
Let's also not have a conversation how all these children wind up in the hands of pedophiles, because, another thing I've studied is how fucking insane the general public is and how they do shit like throughout the ages, like let their young children around grown men who are even known to be predatory and can't even read their body language, let alone accept that usually when someone has a rumor going around, it's not there for no reason. So let's have that conversation. How do all these children come into the world? Why are they not cared for and secured? And what are they doing always being given over to the hands of folks who have reputations for doing harm? Right? Like Sandusky. You want to talk about Sandusky and people like that who are leaders in the community who everyone knows what they're doing and have ignored it for the longest time? So you want to be vigilante hero, Captain Save-A-Ho guy, but the sad news is your brothers and your sisters and your fathers and the leaders have not been leading and doing what's true and what's right, and they're turning a blind eye at loss, injury, and harm being done all day, every day. Okay? So let's have that conversation first, how this is so prolific because folks are fucking and bringing children into the world they can't care for because you got children raising children. And they're so inept and inane and unable to manage their own affairs that they'll go and send their child to the public fool system, to the beasts. They'll go and send them out to the community leader and organizer, right, who does policy enforcement, right? Ask the guy last night. I should play that. The guy who had a sheriff who was fucking all the little boys in town and everyone knew it, but nobody did nothing. And then he wound up cutting the guy's throat and had to do 5 years in prison at least. And then everyone in the jail filed in one at a time, the guards, and said, we knew he was doing that the whole time, but we didn't do nothing. Sorry. Right. So there's your problem. Seems like there's a devil in everybody. If not, there's a devil's advocate in everybody, and that's just as bad.
And that's the thing about overcoming the ego, is realizing that your works, whether they're good or bad, right or wrong, just or evil, if you don't know that right from the start, then something's definitely wrong with you. It's inherent.
So this guy calls himself my fan, right? And he's another semi. He's got a semi, and it's obvious. But he says he's my fan, right? I'm the dad with the face and the whole thing. And sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, right? So, yeah, hilarious. You know, rip the plates off the car, tell you freed her from slavery, because I do that, right? Because that's what I'm talking about. Right. I know it's like little things with you, how you follow policy and code everywhere in your life. I mean, I know, like, it's a little thing that you work 60 hours a week and they take a third of what you make. I know it's a little thing to you. It's called slavery. Because if they can decide 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 100%, they're your daddy. They're your master. By definition, the percentage doesn't matter. You're a hoe. How would you like me to phrase it? You're a hoe for the devil. And the best part is it's consensual. So you don't know it, but you signed up in every aspect to be a hoe for the devil. So your pimp daddy says, we're going to take 30% going forward of everything you fuck for, right? And you have no problem with that, right? So I have an issue with that because I don't want to feel like a hoe on my own land. You think it's just another little issue like traveling freely, right? You know, so that's all I would need to understand who and what we are and who and what we need to be, is that most folks choose to work most of their life and then feel like they have no choice but to give up a third of what they make to someone to go bomb women and children and play games on them domestically, politically. Right. So if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay being that. But if you want to be that, have at it. Right. I get it. You know, it's such a small thing in your life. You don't mind just giving them their 33 and a third and moving forward. You know, you don't care that it's a soul sucking, soul cell mockery sorcery game. You don't care. Right. That karmically you sold your soul and you're in now. You're in the game. You're not leaving. Right? If there is reincarnation, you're going to keep coming back here to play this game over and over again. If it's real, right? If not, you get self-respect or you don't. So I'm out. I get self-respect. You don't, because you're a hoe and it doesn't matter to you. It's just a little detail. The devil's in the details and it's minor for you and most folks. Fine. Your thoughts, expert panel. Then we're going to move along because we got Iran games. Remember I said we're Taiwan. We're Sudan. What's the other one now? There's a third one. What's the third one? Can't remember, but now we're on to Iran. Iran just seized the boat. And it's not like I played Clausen from over a decade ago, 20 years ago, saying, maybe we just sink some Iranian ships, some would say. He didn't say we do it. He said some might say maybe some folks should. because we're in the business of, yeah.
Hey, a nice false flag. We're due for one. You want to start a war? Just false flag it. Sink a ship. Say the Iranians did it, or whoever else. Kick it off. But I am the Dow, dude. I mean, I see a lot. It's likely projection in your comment there. You likely see Paul doing something that you have not yet or not willing to do. You in some way feel inadequate about it, so then you have to project that narrative onto him. It's just interesting. Complete projection.
Right.
Come on,
You wonder why these folks never come up and go, hey, Paulie boy, how do we get a functional space inside of ourselves that works for our women and children when you've never been married or had children but have better results with our women and children because of who you are, what you're doing, or what you've done that commands respect, even if it's not just your ability to communicate and connect and present properly? They never come with that energy, right? Because, they're too good for that. Or they think that, it's not real to them. Because, lots of other folks come here. They're twice my age. They make a lot of money. And they say, we really just want to talk like Paulie, if nothing else. We want to be good with the words like him and speak in a way that's convincing because he has conviction. How do we get that? But you can't humble yourself and have humility and reverence before the creation and life and the truth. And there's the problem. You want to do spin-offs and remixes and play games with my likeness and whatever else. And I'm fine with it. Again, because it just means I'm powerful. See, if folks didn't do that, I'd have a problem. When they constantly take my face and put all that time and energy in and then make quotes about me, it means whatever I'm doing is powerful. Folks are loving to love me and love to hate me. It's exactly how you become successful in this venue, whether you know it or not. Okay, so the lukewarm fence riding mediocre shit doesn't work. Okay, unless you work for the big names, right? Unless you want to put on a suit like Hannity, call yourself a great American, and come on with a lukewarm fence riding mediocre presentment. But this metaverse is supposed to be moving and shaking. It's supposed to be real, spontaneous, authentic, with conviction from the heart. You're supposed to leave it all on the field, and motherfuckers are supposed to be inspired. We're supposed to be the new media, but you don't want to rise to that occasion, right? You're not even as good as these fucking jokes who we've been listening to.
You nailed it, man. And what they do in the mainstream is they'll prop you up, like if you're Hannity or this Crowder guy, Louder with Crowder. They'll prop you up, they'll give you your flowers, and then eventually they're going to take you down. They're going to burn you because you're just a straw man. Straw men are meant to be burned in effigy. That's what it is. And that's what you'll see. All right, so the other thing is come on here, like Paulie said, be the real deal, be authentic, leave it all out here, and let the people fucking decide. That's why I come to this show, because when Paulie speaks, it resonates with me. You guys can say whatever you want and call it a cult. Is it so crazy to think that there's a man on the internet speaking and that people resonate with it? The funny thing is, I think you haters are in more of a love-hate relationship with Paul than the people who really actually love him. That's the funny part. You're just in the closet. You can't reconcile with yourself that you see the white gorilla in a fucking trailer living in the fucking middle of nowhere with an air conditioner that barely even works, and he's fucking waking something up inside of you that your pastor can't, that all your fucking government leaders can't, and you have a fucking conflict in yourself that can't be resolved. So you come here like Razvan, like I'm the Dow, like all these other people who are still here every day, and you're just enacting a conflict within yourself out in front of everybody.
Aesthetic warrior. Here's where Drew, right, starts to play the game with his ego so that he can, have plausible deniability with his own life. They all do this. They identify with certain folks to make certain things true and not true about themselves. So yous all forget, right? Let's go over the list again because we got a lot of viewers here today, and I like coming off very egoic and narcissistic. And I'm running a cult now. I don't know if you noticed. A lot of them are members down there. Okay, so David Rodriguez, pro boxer. Yeah, he wouldn't reach out to you slaves because you'd have nothing to talk about and haven't done nothing. The Chile de Castro person who everybody hates on, right? Hundreds of thousands of subscribers. High Impact Flicks Brian person who everybody watches and says is the biggest thing ever. We could go down the list. There's more and more and more, and there'll be more in the future. You know why? Because I'm not you, and you're not Talcott, and he's not me. Okay? And the person down there, RT, now see another effeminate, inauthentic.
RT's here.
Yeah, they're all here today. It's
love, RT.
Troll heavy today. We're hater and troll heavy today. Okay,
Right.
so this is why I love it. Please restream these broadcasts more to your channels, because then we could just get all the mixing in.
Right.
They like that, and I like that, right? That's why I say,
Paul's down there
that
too.
slave, link the channel and stream me, because then all your hater trolls are going to come in, and we get to have fun, and I get to just point things out. So I highly doubt, excuse me, sir, I highly doubt that any of the folks I just mentioned or anyone else are going to be reaching out to the majority of folks out there calling themselves broadcast, because away from the metaverse, they've done little to nothing. Okay, there's a reason why things happen. They didn't reach out to me because I was in a tent on an Android and was nobody and nothing.
Right.
Okay?
And Paul's down there, and I'm sure he's going to want to take credit for your metaverse success too.
Right. Well, everything pretty much. I'm a chip off the old block, as you can see when he comes up here. It's like same, right?
He wants much love, London man. I will. He wants the senior Laporta wants Talcott to speak. So he's drumming. He's hitting the drums for Talcott. So
right. So I'm just wondering when folks are going to come up and speak like men and women. Oh, this is a thing from an event. I know. I just saw that on the camera, right? So they'll say, "What is that?" He's got some graphene.
It's the cult tattoo, man. It's
some graphene barcode he's got.
It's the mark of the beast. Paul's the Antichrist. It's the mark of the beast.
So, yeah, I went to an event.
Right.
I got out a little bit and got some other things done. So that's what that is.
Nice. So for all for Drew and Razvan and RT, mark of the beast, Paul Enslaved. There you go, everybody. Prophecy right before your eyes.
Come on up. Well, actually, you already came up, Razvan. We already know you're the punk ass coward and not me, and you wouldn't say shit to me if you were in the room with me. So let's just move past that, right? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious when folks come up here who's who and what would happen and wouldn't happen. Greetings, Daddy. How are you? You told me today that you're excited. You texted me to bust my balls because this is what you do, right? It's like he had nothing to do today. He's sitting around the house. Getting old.
It's raining, getting old.
Yeah, he's sitting around waiting to die, and then he texts me and he goes, "Oh, I'm excited for Tucker and Trump," and I vomited, of course, a little bit. Now this is the leader in my life, the man who I came through, and of course there's a joke in there, but it's a family broadcast. I came through him into this reality, and now the leader, the hero, my daddy. Is looking forward to an effeminate male, an authentic corporate male, Tucker Carlson. Excuse me, I'm stuttering. I can't even believe it. So fascinating. A Kabbalah bracelet wearing fiend who giggles and laughs at everybody because he knows that he's lying. And then you have your other super daddy, Donnie, who you just can't wait for him to run your life again. So how much of this is a bit? How much of this is really just your pathetic, cowardly spirit of your mama projection where you need a daddy?
No,
Right.
I'm your daddy. You know I'm your daddy. I come up here to take credit for all your success. You know that. Tell them the truth.
Pimping and macking. The senior's pimping and macking.
Shut up, Pat. I'm here. I'm your producer. You know, and they know now that I take care of everything behind the scenes. You're full of shit. Tell them the truth. You know it. I know it. Now they know it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, hey, Mr. Laporta. Mr. Laporta, you say you take credit for all his success. You take credit for all his failures too in life?
Absolutely.
Can I ask
the good with the bad?
Can I ask Mr. Laporta? Hold on a second.
No, wait. I want to ask him. What do you think of Razvan's comment where he's calling you Satan?
I wasn't there for that. I don't know nothing about that.
It's up on screen.
Okay. No, he's talking about young Paulie.
Satan? He's not into Satan.
Yeah, but he says Satan is your daddy. I mean,
just because this guy says it doesn't mean it's true. Because this guy Razvan.
Yes. Mr. Laporta, what would be a better presidential ticket? Trump and Tucker Carlson or Trump and Talcott?
Come on, Jack. I love you, Jack, but you know the answer to that. Come on, I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, because everybody.
Listen. You
guys everybody hears the nobody.
You guys break his balls. Jack is a very spiritual man. Look at him. He's patient. He's putting up with all your bullshit. Just let him speak his truth and his spirituality. That's what I get out of it. Right. I don't come up here listening to all this phony bullshit. Everybody's an expert. Expert at what? What do you all have expertise in? Jerking off?
Did
I
anybody?
got a funny feeling you can't even do that right.
So here's you're going to help us out with that. Thank you. So the person with the grandiose ego with inferiority complex thinks that anybody said they were an expert here today.
You say bullshit. You say expert.
No, I've never.
Let's hear from you.
Well,
yeah,
I'm an expert musician.
Okay,
sir.
everyone quiet down. Everyone quiet down, because the fool doesn't realize that when I say expert panel, I'm doing a bit. Because
so we're gonna play the bit game. It's
not a bit game.
So when you fuck up, it's a bit. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Now I understand. Now I understand. Now I get it.
Now you understand, because you're
now
very
I get it. You explain it to me.
You got played. You
now,
played yourself.
Now you look at this guy. He's laying on the beach in the sun.
Because your ego confused my non-ego with big ego, right? That's what happened. So when I say expert,
it's out in the open now.
Right. It's when I say
I'm the producer here. You know damn well. You know damn well.
Right, I'm putting the back for a second, because you can't find the flow. So when I say expert panel, it's very much tongue-in-cheek, because it's very not expert. First of all, I don't consider myself an expert, and I consider most of the folks who come here to be, lackluster in their presentment, to say the least.
I resemble that remark.
Right. Okay, and here's another example of the expert panel. There he is. Okay, so my father,
here we go.
My father and the rest of them can't figure out what I'm doing whenever I'm doing it, almost ever, until years later, maybe a next lifetime. So that's great stuff.
Why'd you cut me off? Why'd you cut me off? Because I was telling the truth?
You're just boring everyone. You're cycling.
I'm boring everybody? I don't know. They're asking me a lot of questions.
Cycling in confusion, sir, and it's embarrassing to watch.
Oh, because the minute the real truth comes out, you want to stifle
say you're
me.
my father, and somehow
I got this guy here laying on the beach in the sun. That's a wasted square. Bring up another expert.
That's still more inspiring than you in your life.
No, bring up another expert.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. No. I'm telling you, that's more inspiring. Him sitting there doing nothing, saying nothing in the sun.
He's getting a fucking suntan to be like the rest of the brothers.
And you're cycling in confusion and insanity. So he's not, you are. See the difference?
No, I don't see the difference. Why are you wasting a square on this guy?
Dude, unless there's anybody backstage, he's not wasting a square.
Hey, forget about it. Forget about it.
Okay, now he's going to show us his wonderful body. Beautiful.
Hey, forget about it.
I'm getting blinded by his head.
Mr. Laporta fired up today, coming out of the gates.
Hey, so can we move forward and get to these damn articles? They're like taking Iran crafts, Iran seizing U.S. crafts, Sudan's blowing up American diplomatic. What?
I never saw this other guy before.
Trump's going to save us. That's all that matters.
This guy looks like a caveman. I never saw this guy before.
Yeah, we already went over that. You're a little slow in the uptake.
It looks like you don't have a neck.
I don't have a neck?
Yeah, it looks like your hair's just attached.
See? It's a nice thick neck.
No, still don't see it.
This is why you guys should start a broadcast. You got a hell of a rap there. That's a hell of an energy. Rap part tag.
Ooga booga, hooga mooga. Bugga bahow. Moogie hoogie booga booga.
So you know my peoples.
Yeah. Part of your peoples?
Yeah.
How many viewers do you think you get for this?
What's that?
How many viewers do you think that could get? You two. It's a great energy.
more than the guy laying in the sun.
I'm not so sure.
And what's he smoking?
He's also hitting a vape pen too. So he's not just laying in the sun.
Something to stop himself from acting like you.
No. Hey, listen. I'm here again to tell the truth. I'm your producer. I take control of everything. You know it. I know it. Now they know it.
Right.
He's doing a bit. He's doing.
So he knows how to do sarcasm, but doesn't understand when you say expert panel that indeed is sarcasm.
No, you're the expert panel. He told me offline that you're the experts here, and I want to know what you have expertise in.
We're just going to go to
lying, breaking everybody's balls,
so we're just lying all day today. So
that's
you're
right. Expertise I see.
told you stuff off
so I
camera.
guess if we had credentials,
get ready to rumble.
Breaking other people's balls.
This is what you do with your women.
This is going off the tracks.
And then try to pass it off. This is why you get such great results with women and children, like most the male chimpanzees. This is your bit. It's like directly lying.
Well, but you and I set up this bit. You said it was good to go.
No, that never happened either. So
yes, it did. Stop lying.
See, I never. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So where do we do that? 'Cause I'm gonna pull up the text messages now. So where did I
What
set up
text
a business?
messages?
Right. So where did we set it up? I talked to you.
Yes, of course.
And when did we set this up? Over the phone?
Oh yes, come on. You know the deal.
No,
Stop
no, no. I
lying.
don't know. When was that?
Yes, you know.
You know when was that? Because I'm gonna pull up the. I'm gonna pull up the phone log right now.
Oh, the phone. Make sure you give him my phone number too, shithead.
Right. Yeah. No calls.
Called you
no
shithead.
calls from you today or yesterday.
No. I think the term on this expert panel is fuck nuts.
Right. I think I'm gonna let you go if we can't move forward.
Hold on, Mr. Laporta. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Shots fired.
Mr. Laporta.
May I?
I'm an expert fuck nut.
Yes.
And Jack is definitely better than I am. Right?
Jack is speaking, everyone. Jack is speaking. Everyone,
let Jack speak.
No, that's fuck nut number one.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what you told me all of my life because now that, it's flipped. Maybe you and a lot of other folks here should go get a job, Paulie.
What for?
Right? Because this ain't working. The broadcast thing ain't working for everybody. Yeah, it's not working for everybody. Some folks it's working for. Everyone else not really. So maybe go do something else.
Jack, speak.
Go ahead.
He just needs a hobby. He needs a hobby.
Right. Maybe model trains or something. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
Yeah, hobbies are always good, right, Jack? What kind of hobby you got?
Jack's got no hobby.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, no shit, right, Jack?
Hey, can we just let Jack talk? Cool.
What I was seeing, Mr. Laporta's, is a disagreement over an alleged conversation, an alleged agreement. So Paul's sitting here saying, where was it? And you're just saying, you know it. So let's not assume. Now, I kind of lost track. I assume you're talking about the producer part and playing a bit, but there's a fine line between entertainment and reality. And it looked to me like Paul was saying, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, he's good at lying.
No. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, he's good at lying. No, he's a good liar.
Yeah, so this is his version of supporting me in my broadcast, right?
That's what I'm
little to nothing in value, calls me a liar, and then
minimizes you constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jack.
Mr. Laporta, man, what's hold on.
Yeah,
Mr. Laporta.
He's got a lot of anger, hate, and resentment, like a lot of folks do, and he thinks that I don't see it and others don't see it, right? And here's another example. There you go. Yeah, we're all here together. Let's go around. No. Let's go. Raise your hand right now if you've gotten horrible results with your women and children. Go ahead. Let me see them hands up. Oh, don't lie now. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to raise my hand on that one. I'm gonna be honest.
Your women and children, right? Someone just ran my father's to egoic to raise his hand, and Scott doesn't have any children, and there's no women who are still alive.
There he is.
Okay.
Oh, he's gone. Now he's back.
Right.
Mr. The guy with the hat was asking me a question. Bearded hat.
Yeah, if I can, thank you. If I can, much love, Mr. Laporta.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you're doing like a WWE, you're gonna play the heel against the baby face.
Yeah, he's Ric Flair without the flair. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, man, and I've seen you in the past, Mr. Laporta, and with all due respect, it's kind of a weird presentation. It almost seems like you want your son to fail in his endeavors, and it's surprising to me, man. And you have anything to say to that?
Why would this make him fail?
I don't know. You don't appear to be supporting him. You've called him a liar multiple times just now.
He is. Oh, this is the truth.
Okay,
this is the truth panel.
Okay, so that's not going to. So is that contributing to his success? Besmirching his name in front of his.
Oh, that's impossible. Everybody else does that. I don't need to do that.
Come on, man. What's your angle, Paul?
My
Mr.
angle?
Laporta. What's your angle, dude?
I have no angle.
What are you doing,
I want to be
man?
part of the expert panel.
Why would you come up here like this? Other than you're doing a heel turn and playing a bit. If this is for real, dude, I just question what your intentions are, what your feelings are to your son, and I'm wondering if you're not jealous because your son is achieving a degree of notoriety that you only wish you fucking had.
Yeah, he's a hater.
You're actually jealous of your own son.
Hey, expert. You don't know
Simple.
nothing about
He's
me,
a hater.
shithead. So you don't know
He's just a
what my
hater.
I
expertise
said I'm
is. You don't
wondering.
know my success is. So shut your
I'm
fucking mouth.
wondering.
Shut your mouth.
Your
Hey,
worldly success. Your worldly success.
You know
Your
nothing
worldly.
about me. You
I'm
know
being
nothing about me and my
respectful to you.
success. Shut
I'm
the
being
fuck up.
respectful to you. You don't know anything about mine now, do you?
What?
No, you
Did I
don't.
mention your success? Did I?
I
You
didn't.
put my success.
No,
You told me I'm jealous.
I said I'm wondering if you're not jealous of your son.
Shut the fuck up.
Because it seems
You
like
look
you're
triggered,
jealous
sir.
of your own son. That's what it seems like, Mr. Laporta.
You don't know
It seems like
nothing.
he's achieved something that you haven't been able to do.
How do
if
you know
wanna
what I
live
achieved,
true.
schmuck? You don't know anything that I achieved.
I
You don't know me,
you're
hole in the
right.
wall expert
I
jerk off.
don't know. I don't
It
know.
seems,
So
it
tell
seems
me what you
like
know.
he
Shut
struck
the
a-
fuck
I
up.
don't know, dude.
It seems like
I
he
was.
struck a sensitive chord, sir.
Hold on.
Maybe
Oh, it
he's,
seems like it.
Oh,
It seems
another
like it.
philosopher, another psychiatrist. He struck a bad chord. He
Well-
struck a bad chord.
Senior, please.
Yes, Jack. I'll listen to
Please.
Jack. That's
He
it.
has gorilla-like characteristics himself.
There you go. Now you
Well,
know how the show is made.
Senior, please.
Go,
There
Jack.
is-
Go.
Not only
There
that,
is-
he's taking credit for
the
Paul's
love of
success.
Pete. For the love of Pete.
You're damn
Hold
right.
on, Jack.
You're
Hold
damn
on.
right. I take
You
all
know
the
I'm
credit.
fair. We're letting people talk, Jack. You know I'm fair always. All right.
You're
Come on.
fair? Oh, that's right, because you're an expert.
I know. Here, let me offer this, and you consider it. See if it's what you
Go
think.
ahead, Jack. The only one I'm going to listen to here.
Well, you please don't limit it to that. Z asked a question trying to understand
Yeah.
your intentions, and here's what I suspect. Maybe you haven't said it yourself, but I trust that what is bringing you here is the desire to have a relationship with your son. And I would suspect that the reason that Paul continues to bring it up and have it around is because maybe it hasn't been said, or he wants a relationship with his father. It's quite apparent to me.
Honestly, Jack, I can't disagree with you there. You're probably hit something there that it just is being played out in a somewhat dysfunctional way. But what we're seeing is unresolved emotions based off some type of broken bond between father and son being displayed. But the thing about it is Mr. Laporta is the senior. He's the father. No matter what Paul has done or said, for him to present like this to me is, frankly, it's hard for me to understand the presentation from the senior.
You should understand it. You're on the expert panel. You should.
Come on, man. You're gonna loop on that. You know,
Yeah.
Paulie. You know, Paulie's being sarcastic when he says that.
No, I don't know that.
This is a panel
No, I
of
don't
fucking
know that.
clowns.
This expert panel. Let's go
Paul,
around.
you
Let's hear
know
about
that, Paul. You look. Anybody could be on. You got a caveman RCA. You got OTW, who's a crazy Canadian fucking schizophrenic guy. You got this guy Scott in the corner who thinks he knows everybody and their brother in Hollywood. Fucking Jack Talcott is a guy who's was almost about to lose his house. And I'm a divorced guy who lives in a basement, who barely has any money to feed myself. We know we're not an expert panel, but we know we stand for rights and principles. We're not afraid to put our faces out here and speak our minds. We understand what he means when he says expert panel, and you do too. Get off the loop.
No, to me, this is the expert panel. Everyone comes on here talking, put a bunch of word salads together, these big words, and 3/4 of your population don't know what the fuck you're even talking about.
Okay,
So what you're saying there by proxy is you don't know what's being said and you can't understand it, so you're
Oh
projecting.
no, I'm here, man, to talk to this expert.
Right.
panel.
So could you
How
give us?
would you run Paul's channel as a producer? I'd like to hear it. How
What's
would you
that?
like Paul to run his channel if you were the producer? What would you do?
He knows how I want it run.
Yeah, he said
he doesn't
here
want to do
before.
it.
Like Sean Hannity.
He knows how he wants. See, he knows. He knows.
He wants me to be the next
He
Sean
just
Hannity.
spilled the
He wants him to
beans.
be polite and respectful.
Yeah,
Right.
see, you know. He knows.
wants him to
You
wear
know.
white
There
gloves
you
for
go.
everybody. And
Yeah.
There
So
you
you
go.
want to be?
He
So you
wants
want to
him
be a
to lick
loser
everybody's
failure,
ass.
right?
Oh no! Now you're changing the subject. You said you didn't have no idea how I want this show to run. You just said it.
Right, and you've been the exemplification of how you want it to run. No, you're going to tell me to run it how you think it should run, but can't.
I told you not to go this route, but you told me.
Right, but can you show me something? But can you show me something? But can you show me something?
What do you mean show you something?
I mean, can I just talk to my father, please? Like, I just let everyone go around, and I'd like to have a back and forth on the broadcast I created. Sir.
Oh, wait, who created it? Who created it? Come on.
I don't know who created it.
Come on, go on.
This is a bizarre bit that is you working out really how resentful you are, completely, like what the level of it is, right? Because it's obviously there. This is obviously a bit, but beyond the bit is a non-bit, like always.
Right.
So
come on, man.
He's mad because I love Trump. So what? That's my opinion. So what?
Okay, so you love Trump, and
I love Trump.
So can he talk
Why would
about
you be
it?
so arrogant like Donald Trump to tell me how to do a broadcast when you've never done one, and if you did, it would be horrible.
Oh, I don't want to do a broadcast. That's why.
Why would you be so arrogant to tell me how I should do it, which you have in the past?
No, they asked me what would I prefer to have, and you said it before I said it.
It's fascinating that never in your life do you just say, "Hey, I'm not fit to comment on how anything should be done because I'm a bozo."
Oh no, then if I don't comment, I'm a coward.
No, you're a smart man. Something you've never shown here.
Expert panel.
You'd be a wise man. Something you haven't shown.
Expert panel. Let's hear from you.
Wow, he's really
what
stuck
I don't
on
understand
that.
is
He's stuck
what I
on
don't.
that.
Oh,
I feel sorry for you. Hold on, OTW. I got to bug up my ass. I've been wanting to talk to Mr. Laporta for months now. Hold on.
Wait. You said you never saw me before.
No, I said I've never talked to you before. I've seen you on here
anyway,
go on.
Yes, we spoke, but go ahead. Go on.
We may have spoken once. I never really had a conversation with you. Okay, you seem angry, man. I'm trying to actually talk to you.
I'm not angry.
You obviously have some resentment towards whatever. I conjectured that it was jealousy. It might not be, Mr. Laporta. I was conjecturing. I'm not you. I'm not in here. I think Talcott hit it. I think you basically have, you want to connect with your son, but you want to do it in a certain way. You want to do it in a controlling way. So as opposed to having an open relationship with your son where he can be himself and you could be yourself, you want to control him. You feel as though that he's just somehow reflecting on you and you're dissatisfied with his presentation on the internet, even though in reality, your son positively affects the lives of thousands of people likely every day. Is that not good enough for you?
What is your name? I don't remember your name.
My name is Z. It's Z right there.
Okay, see, this is why this is why you'd be horrible at broadcasting, because that's where I go when I start to go. So he negatively affects the life of at least a couple people daily. So there's the difference, right? I positively influence the life of thousands of people. This guy negatively affects the life of himself and at least a couple people daily. So
who's Hannity helping? Who's Tucker Carlson helping, Mr.
Wait, let's go back to your name. Is it Z or D?
It's Z. Do you see the Z on the screen?
I
far away.
I didn't see it before.
All right.
But let me ask you a question, Z. What is your real name? Why are you hiding behind the letter Z?
My name is John. Everybody who's watching knows my name. There's a fake account of my name that says my name. My name is John. I go by Z because it's the second most common name in the world behind Muhammad. I go by Z because everybody knows me. But I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you're screaming at me.
I'm not. That's in your mind. I'm not screaming at you. It's in your mind. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Z. Are you a psychiatrist?
What's up, Troubling Tribune? No, I'm not a psychiatrist.
Then who the hell are you to tell me who I am and who I'm not?
Wait a second.
I didn't tell you who you are.
No, Mr.
You
Warrior.
want to inject it on this
Mr. Warrior, Mr. Warrior.
That's the expert. Next.
Mr. Laporta, do you know?
He's not there.
You know why, Paul? Because if he hears my worldly credentials, then he'll listen to me. But I don't do that. I don't need to tell. Mr. Laporta, do I need to tell you that I have a doctorate? Do I need to tell you that I need to tell you that, Mr. Laporta, that I'm Dr. Z, that it's Dr. John, or do we have to go there? No, okay.
Jonathan, stop it.
Right.
Now.
Because that's what he wants, Paul.
No,
he wants to know.
We need
order now.
I need
Mr. Laporta.
Stop it. Order, slaves. as I'm saying, that's an appeal to emotion and authority. It's a logical fallacy. To say somebody is a psychiatrist doesn't mean they're good at what they do. To say they're not does not mean they do not understand the same information that a good person would, because we all get it from the same places and our life experience applied. So thank you for debating yourself and losing.
Let me give Z a cookie. Let me give Z a cookie because he has a doctorate. But now you're successful. That means that you're not part of this cult because you got a doctorate. Let me give you
I'm not a successful doctor at all.
Chew it.
I'm not a successful doctor at all, Mr. Laporta. And your son's right. It is an appeal to authority. It's a logical fallacy. That's why I don't tout it around. But for somebody like you who obviously values worldly credentials, okay, because that's what you want to hear. So am I an expert now that you know that I have a doctorate? Does that count? No, it doesn't, right?
I'll send you a cookie.
So how can I be an expert then? So what would make me an expert? Would $1 million in my bank account make me an expert? No.
If you were knighted by the beast system,
right?
If you were knighted by the beast system, he would look up to you like Donnie Trump, and like he told me, he would much rather me be a lawyer and go get a degree.
Yes.
Hold on. Let Mr. Laporta, would you care to read? Look at this comment. It says Paul and Z. That's me. So your son and hold on, Mr. Laporta, let me speak and I'll let you speak. There's a man right now saying that your son and me, myself, influenced him to quit drinking. Okay. So as now we have a testimony right now, your son positively influenced his life. Your son positively influenced my life and many people here. I'm not sure Hannity and your friend Tucker Carlson can say the same, except keeping people on the beast system and then the false right-left paradigm that you seem to be caught up in.
What about all the people that you caused to drink?